Hello everyone, my name is Yuri Kasdorp from Mouse, back with another Red Kite, and we are in the night here on the French countryside at Le Mans in the GT3 cars. A really tricky track. You need to be very precise on a lot of the track limits here, so being in the dark does not help with that, but does mean you can make a big difference if you can apply what we're going to learn in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, so here we are, last chicane, starting the lap, and the race fuel as usual. And we're immediately in the corners where it's very easy to get slow down, but we'll see at the end of the lap. Take those at full speed. Quite dark. So I got to turn 1, really important to get a tight entry for the first chicane. All the way to the right side. Run wide on the exit. Keep it tight on the right side here as well. That's your rouge, make sure to not run too wide on the exit. With a long back straight. Nose and straight with a couple chicanes. Normally in this car we want to drive in the middle of the road. So with a white line right in front of us, that gives us a tiny bit of extra top speed. And we make it all the way left, under the barrier we brake. And focus on a good exit. You can see you can run quite wide on the exit there. Slowly make it to the middle of the road again. Second chicane you want to brake around the 100. Again, make it to the inside curb. And as you can see, we can run very wide over a lot of these curbs if you know exactly where to go back, which is something that's really important. Coming up to Millsand corner, car to the left side, right around the cone. Open up the corner, try to get a good exit. Again, keep the car in the middle. To Indianapolis, you want to keep the car to the right side. For the entry of this left-hander here. On Nash, get the car to the left side here. And as long as you brake straight over the curb, you can drive over the curb with this car. And we just have the Porsche curves and the 4 chicanes coming up. And most of the lap is gained or lost. Fifth gear here. Bit of gas on the inside there. Almost gas on the inside there. Hug the curb on the right side. And make sure to not run too wide on the exit here. And to use the pit entry. Try to set up for a good exit. That's the lap around Le Mans. Alright, so here we are taking a closer look at the lap. It's quite dark around the circuit, so maybe some points will be a bit harder to see from the outside cam as well. Turn 1, You just want to get to the outside here, and really important to take all the track on the left side here. Not because turn 1 is really tricky to take, but you want to be all the way on the right side entering the chicane. So I even lift a bit on the entry here. There's not a big exit, so lifting a bit just makes it a bit easier to get the car to the right side here. You need to be careful on the apex here of going all the way on this right side. If you go all the way to the grass, you get a slowdown. Afterwards, though, on the straight, from here, you can run all the way to the right side, and as you can see, I get all 4 wheels on the right of the white line, which is allowed. There's no off track, there's no slowdown. Then we get to the first corner here. You want to get as close to the gravel here as you can. That's the reference I take. The left side tires need to be close to the edge of the gravel. You can't put 2 tires, the left 2 tires on the gravel. Slow down quite early to try to get a good exit. This right-hander is a bit more tricky. You can't see it very well, but the left side tires again need to be on the left side of the white line, but there's no nice reference on the right side here, like there is in the first left-hander. And then on the exit, we want to run wide here, and the track is marked by these bollards. Doesn't mean that you can't hit them. We can hit them, but the middle of the car needs to be to the right side of these bollards. And that also means that the track limits before this first bollard is a lot tighter than at the second bollard, and there goes like a line that goes straight from the first to the second one. Meaning that after this first bollard you can run a lot wider than before, and we see that here as well. We can run quite wide. And just take a nice straight line. Again, make sure on the downhill here that you're braking in a straight line on the right side. Careful of not clipping the grass here, it's also a really easy thing to do. And then for here we just want to follow the inside, so you just want to follow the inside curb throughout the corner and slowly build the throttle. You don't want to go on throttle too early here, because if you understeer too much to the inside, you have to lift on the next right-hander, and next right-hander is much more important to take flat out. What you can do here is run quite a lot over the inside curb. Some cars like it more than others. The Merc likes it quite a bit, but in this particular lap I didn't need the extra rotation, so I just kept it safe. Touch the rouge, want to brake, 1 gear down, and again focus fully in exit, because there's a big straight coming up here. 1 gear down, left side needs to again be on the left side of the white line. And then the exit is a bit more tricky, where if you go from the outside, all of this here, it's not an off-track, it's racing surface. So you can use all of this blue, all of this yellow, whatever you want. But here's a kicker. At the end of this curb here, the middle of the car needs to be on the right side of this drainage. How you can know these things? iRacing does not give you any info on this. So it's very tricky to find out exactly where these limits are. Not the best way to do it. It's a bit of a weird way. A lot of instances in Le Mans you'll see it, but we'll go over those in the track guide, so definitely keep watching. So the middle of the car to the right side of the drainage, and then of course it limits you. You can't take all of this extra road here, because if you want to take that, the line you have to take here, you have to slow down a lot at the end. So you end up just taking a quite normal line. Now get the first straight. And the GT3 cars, in general, you want to keep the white line in the middle of the car. There's a bit of a crest in the middle. Means that the road goes to the left and the right side a bit, and if you keep that highest point in the middle of the car, in iRacing for some reason the car goes a bit quicker. It's not much, but it can be maybe like 1 or 2 hundredths, and if we can take 1 or 2 hundredths, we will take 1 or 2 hundredths. Then we're coming up to the first chicane. First chicane, you want to look at the end of this barrier here, and make sure that before you start braking, the car is straight, and you brake at the end of this barrier here. So get to the left side, car straight, brake at the end of the barrier. It's a bit bumpy on the left side here, but these GT3 cars can handle it quite well, so we can take off the road. And you want to almost or just about hit this cone here. We don't like this cone. It's one of the cones we don't like on the channel, so we want to either scare it by going really, really close to it, or tap it over. Then we bring the car to the inside. Track limits here, not the white line. Track limits here are the curb. So you want to make sure that the left side tires are not on the curb on the right side, or you'll get a penalty. The white line here is, I don't know, it's for decoration. We don't use it for anything. Same goes on the left-hander here. Left tires over the curb, right tires as long as they don't touch the curb, you don't get a slowdown. And then it's different here again, where we can hit the curb with the left tires. We can be all the way on the right side with the whole car, as long as we're back on the road, so with the middle of the car on the left side, in the middle of the here somewhere. And where this exactly is, we don't know exactly. You'll get a good feeling for it the more you drive it. The way I take it though is that you run quite wide on the exit here and just make sure that you don't run too far to the right side here. It's really easy when you run this wide to just already start turning right a bit, and that's when you get close to the slowdown. Just keep the car straight. You don't lose much time. You'll avoid that slowdown, and there's enough road to run straight here anyways. So then we go again, middle of the track. Running up to the second chicane. Second chicane is quite similar to the first one. So we brake at the 100 here. Again, we can brake on this right side where it's a bit more bumpy. It doesn't really matter that much. There's an overcone here we don't like. We want to either scare it or slightly tap it. Very close to the cone. And then the left side again. Right side tires close to the curb. White line is for decoration. You want to set the car for a good exit. So make sure you slow down, get the car rotated before you get to the second apex. Left side tires off the curb. And then for the exit here, it's a bit different. Again, we can run all the way to the left side here. So if you show someone this picture where the track limits are, white lines all the way over here. We don't have to think about that. Curbs all the way over here. We don't have to think about that. We just again need to make sure that we're not running on the left side too long. Otherwise, in the middle of the curb here, there's a slowdown. The way I like to take this, we'll go from the cockpit. There's this edge in the curb here that serves as a good reference. And what I try to do is make sure that the right side tire goes before the edge and the left side tire after the edge. And it looks like this when we go off. That way the car doesn't bump that much when we go off either. And if you take that line, you won't get slowed down. And it looks like this. Then again, middle of the track, put the Millsand corner. Here comes the last cone that we don't like. Run it to the left side. We don't run all the way to the grass here. Just want to straighten up the braking. We don't like the cone, so you run very close to it or hit it. And then I start braking right where the curb starts on the right side here. Not all the way to the right side of the car, but I start where the curb starts on the right side and then try to brake in a straight line to this outside here. Try to open up the corner here, get the car rotated. Again, left side tire I think needs to be on the left side of the curb. But it's a bit easier to get a slowdown here. It's not that important to be all the way to the inside because the exit is much more important. What I use as a reference is don't hit the bollards on the inside here. And then an exit, again, we can run all the way wide as we want, even hitting the gravel here. As far as I know, is not an off track. It slows you down though, so you want to be close to the gravel on the outside. Pull back straight again. Middle of the track. Then we get to Indy. We want to have the middle of the car to the right side of this line here. If you run too wide on the entry here, you can get an off track. Small tap on the brake to get the car rotated. Get the car stopped on the right side here. You want to be close to this curb here. You don't have to be on it. If you're too far to the inside, you sacrifice the next left handle too much. On the exit here, we can run a bit over the gravel. Not too much though. You'll get an off track. Where exactly the limit is, very hard to say, because as you can see, the middle of the car is already a bit to the right side of the top of the curb. Good reference is that you don't want your left side tires to hit the curb here. Now we get the entry turnage. In some cars, it doesn't like going over the curb here. The Merc GT3 likes going over the curb. It takes it quite well. So I brake all the way to the left side, brake just before the 50. And then when you go over the curb, make sure that you're braking in a straight line. And you're not braking to the edge of this curb here. So I'm braking a straight line, and then I start turning in when I go over the curb, and it helps the car go over the curb. And then if you do that right, you get a bit better entry into an arch, and then you should get a nice exit because of it. Then we get the run to the Porsche cars next. Again, similar to the entry of Indianapolis, we want the middle of the car to be on the right side of this line here of the green. One tap down. Want to get the car following this curb on the inside here, even a bit more than I did here, but sometimes it's tricky because we run very low downforce. And you can get the left side of the car on the grass here, which doesn't only help the car because it's a slightly shorter line, but the grass slows the car down a bit, which pulls the car to the inside, which helps you rotate the car. And you can run very, very far to the inside grass here without getting it off track. The right side tires just need to be on this white line still. So you can run very far with the left side tires. Onto the grass. That's what you want to do. This corner here, you can't do that. So it's a bit inconsistent. You can run before the curb on the grass, but you can only run on the curb here. If you run on the grass like we do on the first left-hander here, you do get the off track. And then we just want to follow the inside curb here as much as we can. Follow the inside line. Make sure that you're entering the left-hander of karting here, close to the white line on the right side. Small tap on the brake. You want to use this inside here, so run a bit over the curb. And then want to make sure that on the exit you're not running too far wide. Again, left side tire needs to be on the left side of this point here where the curb ends. Before the curb ends, you can run as wide as you can. But again, you're limited to this end of the curb here, just like in Tête Rouge. And we got the last two chicanes coming up. She did the whole lap without getting an off track or slowdown, especially in qualifying. Biggest challenge is right at the end. I tried to straighten up the braking a bit from the outside by using the pit entry. Brake quite a bit before the curb, down 2 gears. And then the first two is just the outside tire needs to be on the right or left side of the white line. You can run quite far over it. Tap down to second gear. And then make sure to not run too wide on the left-hander here. You run quite wide over the left side here. Again, just outside tires on the road. And then for the last right-hander, you can run even more than the outside tires onto the curb. But if you run too quick in the first left-hander here, you don't get the angle over the curb on the second one, and you're going to bounce to the outside. So you want to make sure you slow down enough for the first left-hander to get that bit of rotation in the middle here. Get the car pointed a nice way to the right side, so you can get a good exit. And then you run all the way to the gravel on the exit here. And that's the lap around Le Mans in the new GT3 cars. Alright, so there we go. Lap done around Le Mans. As you can see, a lot of the track limits here are not super intuitive. At first, they feel intuitive. The track's really nice to drive after you learn them. But you need to learn where those track limits are. If you can use that to your advantage, you will gain a lot of time to your position. So I wish everyone good luck with that, and see you guys next week for another video.